let's have a look at your rest of the world 11 from all the other players that you've managed across your career. And we mentioned it earlier, it's an extraordinary array of talent that you've had at your disposal across this career, which started all the way back in 1976. So let's start with the goalkeeper. Well,
the goalkeeper, I consider him as good as your heart was. Kasper Schmeichel, you
yes.
Yeah. And I think it's outside England the best goalkeeper I had. He's very good.
I was just looking at the back four, and you've got Mihailovic there.
Yeah.
And then you spoke about earlier on, we talking about him being originally a left winger. You put him to left back, then he goes centre back. I just remember him more for his actual set pieces and scoring goals. If you could pick one to take a set piece, would it be Mihailovic or Beckham?
You know, one is left-footed and the other
don't give me that.
Well, Mihailovic was incredible, I must say that. But not only free kicks and corners and things like that. Also his passes from behind as a central defender. It was incredible. If someone up front there, Salas or Mancini, protested, he said, just run, shut up and run, and the ball will come. And it did. His passing, his left foot was extremely good.
So you always like to put the players in their best positions, like Scholes we've talked about, and so in your dream team, can we ask what Nedved is doing at left back?
He shouldn't play there. He never played there. He's a wide midfielder, but to get him in, because he has to be in. Extremely professional football player. Holiday, 5 days. All the other players 1 month. He 5 days. Then he came to the training camp training. So, good, very good.
When we go to, and we actually look at the midfield players,
these are the options. All the choices that Sven could have picked from.
Many.
Wow, I mean, it's extraordinary. It's a who's who of world football. So let's have a look who you have got for some great managers in there as well, you can see. Mancini, Simeone, Ancelotti, that's interesting, isn't it? But you've left one or two out. Tell us about Roberto Mancini, because he's featured through a lot of your career.
Well, I had him for 9 years. And that he should be a manager, that was for sure. When I had him first time in Sampdoria, he was a manager and a player. He did everything in the club. He was in the office, he was into the kitman, controlling, bus driver, that he was on time, kitchen, everything.
The Italian Gary Neville?
Yes, exactly. There you have it.
Because I asked you about Falcao.
Yeah.
Now, he's the great Brazilian midfielder. Did you have him at Roma?
Roma. In
the mid-80s. Now, he's famous, for, I think, for that goal he scores maybe in the World Cup against Italy in 1982. That's how probably a lot of us in England certainly remember him. But how good a player was he, and how big an influence on that Roma team was he?
He was the coach on the pitch. And the players told me, because he was injured a lot. I only had him 1 year. The players sometimes told me that we cannot play without him, and that was true. Without him, we lost. With him, we never lost. But also he had the vision. He was elegant player, and running. You don't think a Brazilian player would run like that, but he had everything.
And what marked Ruud Gullit out as a special player to you? What was it about him that stood him above others as a footballer?
His knowledge, his leadership.
Ruud Gullit, we're talking about.
Yeah, Roberto Falcao, yeah.
Oh no, Ruud Gullit.
Gullit.
Gullit, sorry.
The power.
Yes.
The power. He came from, I had him in Sampdoria, he came from AC Milan. And I think Capello has sacked him, or they were fighting. So when he came to Sampdoria, I wanted to show the world and Capello that he was good, and he was.
I remember when he went, did he just play 1 year at Sampdoria and then he moved back to Milan?
And trouble again and come back to Sampdoria.
Yeah. So you played him as a striker? I remember watching.
Striker.
Italian football was on Channel 4 at that time. So was you manager of Sampdoria in that game where they beat Milan 3-2?
Yes, when he scored.
Yes, and it was 2-0 to Milan
goal.
and then 3-2 to Sampdoria.
Yes.
Yeah.
We played as a striker, but also right midfield sometimes.
Okay.
Now he was the power he has. I mean, 190, something like that. Quick, strong, good technique, good vision. Oh. He and Rijkaard van Basten, they had everything you want from a football player.
And Juan Sebastian Veron, who we probably didn't see the best of in the Premier League here.
I know, and I don't understand that. We bought him from Argentina when I was in Sampdoria. Then I took him with me to Lazio. And he, brilliant. The football brain that guy has is out of the passing, everything. But I think he came to United and then he went to Chelsea, no? I think he needs to feel like a leader. If not, he will be South American. He will be a little bit down. You mentioned in Chelsea, there was always talk of him going to Chelsea. We always thought that you were signing him for Chelsea because you may go to Chelsea as well. No? That was later. I was halfway there, but it never happened.
Well, you almost went to Chelsea, you almost went to Manchester United, you almost went to Blackburn. There was an interest from Spurs, I think, at one point as well.
No. Spurs, no.
But Blackburn you'd signed.
Blackburn, I signed the contract. But then Lazio came. So I asked Blackburn to release me, and they did. After
was you closer to going to Manchester United or closer to going to Chelsea?
United, I think.
Well, the deal was done, wasn't it? That was when Sir Alex Ferguson was going to retire.
But then he changed his mind.
So had you signed something then?
Not really.
Not really.
In pencil.
No.
But that would have been a tough one, wouldn't it? Because you were England manager at the time.
Yeah, that was a big problem. To take a club if you resign from England and taking a club in England. So it never happened. And maybe good, maybe bad, who knows.
I'm glad you reminded us about that.
Yeah.
Striking options then, Sven. We're nearly there. You've got to choose two from this shortlist then, which includes some we know better than others, arguably. Well,
you know many of them.
Some that we've seen have been very successful here. Some great names from Italy and one from Sweden as well. Torbjörn Nilsson.
Yeah. And
he makes your team.
I think he was the best of all these.
Really?
Yeah. Fantastic. He was like Ruud Gullit, strong like him, scoring goals. Liverpool, they followed him during that time. This is 1982, I think. They followed him for 2 months. The scout, Saunders?
Tom Saunders.
Tom Saunders. He was in the bus with us. He was in the dressing room. He was everywhere. But he chose to go to Germany instead. And that was a big mistake. He won the UEFA Cup for that team, 1982. Well, we had a lot of good football players like Hussein, Strömberg, but he was out of this. Roma wanted him. Many teams wanted him at that time. And he went to the wrong country at that time. At that time, Germany, they were running football. They were not playing. And he never any success at that time in Germany.
Sven, you've gone for Baggio. There's lots of other strikers there, and I think certainly the time, I think you had him in Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Was he was the golden boy of Fiorentina, then he moved to Juventus, and I know that caused a lot of problems in Italian football. There was a lot of number 10s, I think, in Serie A in that time. Was he the number one, actually, of that generation?
You had Platini as well.
Okay.
But that, yeah. Well, he was a golden Italian boy, for sure. For sure. And he signed for Fiorentina when he was 18, 19, I think. He came a little bit injured, but you could see at once this will be something very, very special. Explosive, the technique, the vision, and very, very good.